anticipation. Ooh,
Way to go.
what?
As soon as we start, I'm sweating with anticipation.
Well, it hasn't started yet.
No, it is currently live. And hello and welcome to the Extra Live show. I'm your host. Oh, I'm your host. Get
You're
all the
nervous.
jitters out. I'm your host, Kyle McCauley. I'm joined today by the other Kyle Penrod.
Hey,
Hi.
hey.
And this is the Extra Live show, where we get on and talk about video games and everything of that sort that makes us cool, I guess.
Does it make us cool? No, I don't think it really makes us cool.
What would you say it makes us?
Dorks, which is cool.
No, I find that offensive. Highly offensive, actually.
Well, might as well hit the button then and turn this off.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us. That's been episode 0.1, and we'll see you all next time.
See ya.
So we did one of these last... What?
Nope.
We did one of these last weekend, and I feel like it went pretty well, so here we are again this week. I don't know. Kyle, how do you feel?
Right now, I'm a little warm because I had to turn fans off because the mic picks it up.
I know that feeling.
As far as doing the recording and everything, no, I feel pretty good about it. But like, I mean, we're working out the kinks here, so if you guys, if you're watching from Reddit or wherever else we posted it, feel free, like, rake us over the coals, tell us how much we suck, but tell us how to improve too, like, we're getting back in the groove, like, people are watching, we can go in the background, I guess, right? So,
sure.
I mean, we came from the Backwards Compatible podcast. I'm not gonna say it on there, but yeah. So that kind of fell through. We weren't able to do that anymore. So we decided to break off and do something on ourselves, by ourselves, and here we are.
Weehaw!
That
is correct. Yeah. I mean, we touched on this a little bit last week, but for anybody who happens to be here and thinks that we sound familiar, we had a small show on carbagm.net that was essentially the same show, but we had a couple other people, and we had to kind of end that. I had to step down from that. I had a daughter born recently, and just, not enough time on my hands. And I felt like I really wanted to keep doing this, but didn't really have a good avenue to do it. But I felt like doing it over Google Hangouts, late at night when I'm not working, like whenever, when the kids are asleep, I felt like that would work a lot better. So that's kind of why we've ended up here. And yeah, like Kyle said, it's kind of janky, and we may not sound the best, or look the best if you're watching this on YouTube.
I look fantastic. I'm watching the stream.
Did you say I watched it?
I said I'm watching the stream.
Oh, you're watching the stream as it goes?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've turned it on. I wanted to see. Like, I could see on my computer I look great.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to see what is actually ending up on YouTube. So.
It's horrible.
It's terrible. There's like 3 pixels, and like I'm 2 of them.
I want a burrito.
Oh.
So anyway,
you are a burrito.
So yeah, here we are, doing this hopefully a weekly podcast. I mean, we did it last week. We're doing it this week, so I'd say we're doing pretty good on the weekly aspect of it. And I guess. Fuck introductions. Kyle, what have you been up to this week?
Oh, well, not doing my assignments. I can tell you that.
How dare you?
Not doing one of my assignments.
You piece of shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, the XCOM thing is out, dude. It's out. I'm not playing it. I'm not doing it.
Can you tell everyone why you aren't playing it?
For one, I'm not playing it because you killed me in it. And for two, dude, I don't like XCOM. I was not a fan of the first game, and I watched some videos of people playing it. Dude, I don't like those turn-based games.
But you haven't played it yet, right?
Correct, I have not played it.
So you're going to go on record saying that you're not going to like this game, even though you've never played it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
You're a horrible piece of shit.
Yep. No.
And the world would be better off without you.
What?
Kill yourself.
All right. Here we go. Hey, you got to watch telling people to kill yourself on the internet. I could pull up a lot of lawsuits where that went bad for the people that told the person to kill themselves. All right.
If you were to go to a lawyer or a court of law and say, such statements as this man told me to kill myself and I wanted to kill myself after this, like they would look at you and just go, please do us all a favor.
No, I would use it to help my family out. See, I would be like, hey, this guy told me to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself, and then you go to this lawyer and sue him, okay?
Well, at least you would follow through with it.
Could you just imagine that phone call, like to my sister or something, like years after our parents have died and everything, and like I'm like, I don't know, 50, 60 or something like that. Just somebody on the internet's like, hey, why don't you go kill yourself, providing we still have an internet then.
Yeah.
And I tell my sister, I'm like, hey, I'm about tired of living. I want to get you some money. This guy told me to kill myself, so I'm going to do it. And then, like, while she's rebuttaling, she's like, I don't think this is a BAM!
Right in front of her.
Right on the phone call, dude. Like, what the fuck? That's terrible.
I imagine.
Anyway, there you go. There's some twisted shit that runs through my head. Anyway, yes, I'm going to go on record and say that I'm not going to like XCOM because guess what? I don't like fucking XCOM. I'll come over to your place and play it, though. I'm not buying it.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to buy it.
I ain't doing that.
I'm not asking you to buy anything
Unless
that
it goes on sale for like $5, and then I'm bored. So.
I am not asking you to pay any of your money for something that you may or may not like.
Whatever, get that may not out of there. I promise you, I may not like it.
But you're a jerk.
Why?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Why does that make me a jerk, dude? Come on. What games I have asked you on our old podcast to play games, dude, and you have told me that you're not gonna like it.
Can you name a specific one?
No, I was hoping you could, because I can't fucking remember.
You make a valid point, and I see your argument.
Yeah.
I still think you're a jackass.
Whatever.
I think the only thing that you've ever asked me to play is an MMO. To which point I'm like, I don't have the time investment to get to an MMO.
That didn't happen.
That totally happened.
Maybe not. Maybe in a joking manner, I will never ask somebody to play an MMO, dude. Here, see what you think about this highly addictive game. No, I don't think so.
I clearly remember one night where we were online and just talking, and you were playing WoW, and you had just decided to resub for like a month or whatever, and you were just playing it, and I was like asking you questions about it, and you're like, you should get it. It's free for the first 20 levels.
Joking,
you should, you know, if I would have signed up for it, you would have been like jumping for joy.
Well, fuck yeah, but at the same time, dude, I was not being serious. For one, I know you, and I know you don't have enough time to put into an MMO, even with one child at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, I just, I'm a realist, dude. I know you can't do it. Now, if you were single like me, and well, at that time living by yourself, then I would have been beating you over the head with the World of Warcraft box, dude. I would have been like playing this shit, and yeah.
All right.
And here we'd be all fat and playing World of Warcraft. And every fucking minute of it.
All right, this is going to be my last ditch effort for you and XCOM, and that is, I don't normally care for turn-based strategy games at all. Like, just they're not my thing. They're not normally what I really fucking care to play. You know, I'm more of an actiony type, or a story type, or you know, like, um, I don't know, some RPGs. But even then, you know, but turn-based strategy games are not my games. All right, and I honestly didn't give a shit about XCOM at all until I started watching videos on it and realizing like I could kind of get into that. And I bought it and I played it, and it was like on the Backwards Compatible podcast we did, you know, our game of the years, and that would have been on one of my game of the years had David not picked it, but that was like one of my big games of the years last year, you know. So like I get where you're coming from, that you probably wouldn't like it and everything, but you got to give it a shot. It's a really, really good game. And in fact, I'm really upset that I keep trying to get you to play it, because I'm talking it up so much that you're eventually going to play it, and you're like, oh, this game's stupid. And I knew it the whole time.
Oh my god. Okay, here's the deal. This is what we're gonna do. I will come over to your place
Mm-hmm.
and we will play that game. Because for some reason Steam's not letting me see your shit. So, and at any rate, I'd have to install it and everything. And I'm just too freaking lazy to do so.
I think XCOM is like my second highest played game on Steam as far as hours clocked. My first being Dark Souls. I think XCOM. Dark Souls comes in at like 50. XCOM comes in at like damn near 30. What?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's only because that game requires that fucking game.
So, all right. So outside of not playing XCOM, what else have you played?
All right. So, all right. I'm gonna do these in order. Rise of the Triad. I mean, we talked about this last time, but whatever. Rise. Obviously, we're going to be stuck on the same games for a little bit, So, but yeah, Rise of the Triad, which that game got kind of hard, kind of fast, like literally all in one level. I distinctly remember and it's pretty early on. I'm gonna tell you something right now, dude. I am rusty on FPS, like really rusty. So I'm not all that great at them. Spatial awareness is something that I'm not. I keep running into the traps and stuff because I don't realize how close I actually am to the damn thing.
Yeah.
So, and I distinctly remember there's this one level where there was like a 3-story kind of like warehouse kind of thing, and obviously it's an FPS. You have to. You're going to end up in every single room on that map, but you've got to do it in a certain order, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in trying to figure the order, dude, I just kept getting shot from nowhere. And in the problem with Rise of the Triad being a throwback game, okay, it's great to like throw back to the old to the old style of FPSs and whatnot, but like I said it last week, dude, there's a reason why they quit making those games the way they did. Is because like it's clunky. At any rate, I couldn't tell where I was getting shot from. The little indicator. I feel like you're bored.
No, I'm listening.
Okay. The little indicator. No, it's just your movements and everything. I'm like, what?
I'm telling you, this camera is like really jerky. So it's like every subtle movement makes me look like I'm like, So, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, so I couldn't tell where the damn shots were coming from, and eventually I would take enough damage and die, So I played that level like 5 times, and finally, see, the cool thing is I was starting the level with a full, like, rocket launcher thing, where you shoot the rocket launcher, and it hits stuff, and it sends fire out in, like, an X pattern. So like away from you, towards you, and to the sides. You really only see to the sides. I know it comes towards me.
Is this like a late game rocket launcher? Because I have not seen this.
You're gonna get it in the next couple of levels from where you were at.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. The little indicators that show you how much ammo you've got on the thing are little like mushroom clouds.
Nice.
instead of like rockets, you
I
know.
like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I only know that the fire comes towards me, and I'm assuming that it goes away from me, like I said,
Hmm.
in an X pattern, because I shot it in a hallway that I was standing in. Don't do that. Blows you up too. So
You don't say. I wouldn't have guessed that.
yeah, well, I figured. Well, like I said, you can only see that it goes out to the sides.
Hmm.
You know, so it's like, oh, well, you know, I was like, I'm gonna just shoot this thing down the hallway and kill those guys, right? Shot thing down the hallway, it's like back up in my face. Dude, I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, I had a full one of those, and instead of wasting one shot on the guys at the beginning, I, instead I killed them with the submachine gun, like ran through the trap, got out into that area, killed all the guys on the ground that I could see really well,
Hmm.
and then when I got to the point where I kept taking damage, I couldn't figure out. I went through, and obviously I had to pick up some more power ups, but I went through and I shot every single door with the fucking rocket launcher, dude. And ultimately got the guy, but still never knew where he was. Um, but but yeah, so that, like I said, that game, and then the next level, I'm still stuck on because there's a whole bunch of traps and stuff that I keep dying to. So,
Do the levels like increasingly? Are there more traps in the levels?
oh
Because
fuck yeah,
yeah, I was the level that I ended on last week was that one that started out with the traps and everything, and I only played it a little bit this week. It's specifically, I think I played it like yesterday or the day before, and got halfway through that level, and I died so many times, man. Like you're right, that game like progressively gets like harder, which I mean is to be expected, I guess, and that's like how a lot of those older games was they started out, relatively easy but ramped up as it went
yeah.
on. Compared to nowadays where like it ramps up a little bit, but it still kind of keeps you within a zone of only so many enemies on screen and everything like that.
Yeah, and that's how, like, Doom and shit like that. Those games, they could only make the level itself so hard.
Hmm.
So once all their little tricks and everything were discovered, all they could do is just throw more enemies at you, and like with this game, a shitload of traps.
Hmm.
If I recall correctly, I don't think Doom really had traps.
No, not really. Doom had more.
They just spammed enemies at you.
Yeah, yeah, no. Later levels were crazy for spamming enemies. Doom was a little more sadistic in that, and I say this because I've been playing a lot of Doom, and I'll get to that later. But like the small secrets that you would kind of find, if you didn't do them right, they would lock up and you couldn't get to them. And a lot of times, like really good weapons were behind the secrets, or like ammo for your really good weapons were in those secret areas and everything. Specifically, like if you know, like in the first level, if you hit a switch, it opens up a door to a secret area, and it gives you an unlimited amount of time to go get to that area. In the later levels, like you hit that switch, it opens it up, and you only have a certain amount of time before you can really get out there. And if you don't make
Oh
it out
yeah, and
there,
you had the clicking going on while you were.
yeah, yeah, and if you didn't get out there, you were just shit out of luck. So while not necessarily a trap or anything like that, but that's it's kind of a pain in the ass, man. Because when you're first going through it, you're like, okay, I hit a switch. Okay, what's this? What's going on here? And then you see the opening, you're like, oh, sweet, secret area. You start walking to it, and it starts going up, and you're like, no, and you know,
Yeah.
the
Well,
pain.
it stresses you out too,
Hmm.
um, and in a game like Rise of the Triad, they're going to throw traps in your way while you have to run and get there on time.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course it's a pain in the ass, but I'll get through it. I'll get through it. I turn God mode on.
So,
So
um,
yeah, that's Rise of the Triad.
anything else you want to say about Rise of the Triad? Or are you gonna keep playing it?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep playing it. It's a fun game. I feel like I've gotten all the good like special weapons
Hmm.
already. Like I feel like I've already like they didn't do a very good job of. Excuse me. Like they didn't do a very good job of keeping uh, the like the BFG in Doom. Like you get
Hmm.
that in the way later levels. You don't get that right off the bat. I feel like in the first three levels of this game, um, I got all the way up to like, well, God mode. Like the God mode power up, is in like the second level, like
Right.
already. So I kind of feel like we've already seen all the weapons, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get pretty boring from here on out. So
Do you know about how long it is?
no, I didn't look that up, so I
Yeah,
don't
neither did
know.
I.
I'm pretty much playing that one completely
Hmm.
open ended.
Hmm.
So like I just don't know. I don't know anything about the rest of the game.
Hmm.
So yeah.
That's cool. Well, I've got a lot to say on Rise of the Triad, but I'll get to that a little bit later.
You sure we
Um,
can kick it over to you, like you said, like a tit for tat kind of thing?
yeah, if you want to hear it,
Yeah, go
you want to
for
hear
it.
what I got to say. You want to
I
hear
want
my story?
I want to hear your story.
um, so yeah, last week I bought Rise of the Triad, and it started to kind of get me interested in old school shooters, which I hadn't really played a whole lot of because I didn't grow up with a gaming PC, you know.
Don't blame him too hard on that one. He's like in his 20s, so
Yeah, I'm 26. But I mean, so Doom came out in like what, 92, 93?
no freaking idea, something like that.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll say around then. I'm like 5 years
93.
old. 93. So 93, I'm 5 years old. I can't play Doom. But I did eventually play Doom probably when I was, I don't know, 15 or so. It was an old Windows. It was Doom for Windows 95 was the disc that I had.
I had one of those.
Yeah, and so I had played that, and I remember playing Wolfenstein 3D um, at a cousin's house for like Thanksgiving one year or something like that when I was like, I don't know, 6 or something. That was kind of neat. But so yeah, I bought Rise of the Triad last week, and this weekend on Steam was the QuakeCon sale. So they're putting a bunch of like old id Software games on sale. This year they're doing like a lot of Bethesda published stuff because Bethesda owns id now.
Yeah, Skyrim's on sale right now for like $6.
Yeah. Oh, I'll go into that in just a minute.
$5.
Um,
I looked it up.
but so uh, the other day they had the Wolfenstein series on sale, and I don't have a computer good enough to run the new Wolfenstein. It might be able to run it, but it'll probably be at like stupid low settings, and it just wouldn't be enjoyable for me. But they put, the original Wolfenstein 3D, Spear of Destiny, which is the second one, and Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and I got that for like 375. I think I got those three games.
Nice.
Yeah, so I picked those up and I started playing through, mainly just Wolfenstein 3D. I haven't touched Spear of Destiny, and I only played through a little bit of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. But like playing that, I was I was like, man, I want to check out more of this. So I booted up Doom, which I have the Doom 3 BFG edition and whatnot, and like that's all I did this morning. Actually, was I played through most of Doom. And yeah, my video is really bad right now. Thanks.
Oh, come on now. I was like trying to give you a
I know, but it like
like a
totally.
behind the scenes uh prompt or something.
Yeah. Sorry, it totally threw me off. I'll see if I can like
Uh,
cut this part out, but
I thought it
um,
might, but I was trying to be. I'm sorry.
I appreciate you, trying to help me out there. I've
We'll
noticed
come
it
up with
this
like
whole
a
time.
symbol, that like will be like yeah, that'll work. We do that, then you know that the other one's video is just shit.
Right.
Just absolute just dog shit.
Oh man. So Yeah, I played a lot of the original Doom this morning, and probably the furthest that I've actually ever gone in Doom. And that
You
game
have it on
hold.
namby-pamby mode.
No, I had it on Hurt Me Plenty. I think was the normal mode. I don't strive to be like badass and play it on Nightmare or anything like that.
Dude, that's impossible. There, I
Yeah, I
played
agree.
it shit on Nightmare, dude. Like, ugh, yeah. It's well, I told you a couple weeks ago, like I challenged everybody at work, to like a Doomathon, and we
Oh,
put it on
really?
hard. Yeah, we put it on Nightmare, and I lasted the longest. I still got killed in the first level.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like
You did tell
I,
me that.
I only killed like four enemies and then died, dude.
Right.
So, anyway, I'm interrupting you and being a jerk, so
No, no,
back to you.
that was a great anecdote. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, that game holds up like surprisingly well. Especially like once you get past the first couple levels that I've played a billion times, because I'm always like, man, I really want to play Doom, and I play Doom, and I play like the first 2 or 3 levels, and it normally takes me like 3 levels before like I die, and because I didn't
Sure.
save the whole time, and Doom doesn't have like an auto save feature, I die, and I have to start over, and I'm like, well, that was enough of Doom for me, and I go to do something else.
Yeah.
Um, this time like I got 4 or 5 levels in, and I was like, I decided to start saving and everything, and I was like, oh, hey, this is actually pretty good, and like, yeah, it like. So we were talking earlier, the difficulty kind of progresses through the levels, and you know, like after a while, man, it's like you walk into a room and it's just filled with monsters, but there's this like awesome satisfaction that comes from just like juking all of them, strafing around them all, and like just blowing them out, one by one, and like taking them all out. That I don't feel like I get a whole lot anymore in games.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
It seems like a lot of new games, like, well, since we're on the subject of Doom, like I
Mhm.
played, um, was it last year or 2 years ago
Are you talking
that,
about Doom 3
yeah,
when you
when
played
we
it?
were playing Doom 3,
Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, a couple years ago we were playing Doom 3, and like, you remember those big like blobby guys that had the one like plasma, uh, gun on one hand, and
Yeah.
like they just turned around, made this horrible noise, and they just shot the shit out of you.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it was the plasma gun. I think they shot a green bolt. Anyway, I can't remember which gun that was. Um, but like I remember facing one of those guys in that game,
Mhm.
Doom 3. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be nuts, and he's huge, like, but he was so slow. It was no problem. I ended up strafing on the outside of this pipe, and I
Mhm.
had got him into the inside of it, and like we would just keep going around this pipe,
Yeah.
and I just bop 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 until he was dead.
Yeah.
Like he'd shoot off his rocket, and I'm like, and then he'd make that noise, and I'd run,
Mhm.
and dude, it was easy. But like, you'd go across those guys in the original Doom, and there just was not enough shit to hide behind, dude.
Yeah. No, there was
Uh,
like nothing to hide behind.
yeah. Well, it's because they couldn't have that much stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And not to mention like the stuff that you could hide behind were explosive barrels that the enemies could hit. I've been killed numerous times in Doom from explosive barrels, man. It's nuts.
oh yeah, dude. Once you see them barrels, dude, just you fucking shoot them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you don't let them things stay around.
Um
But yeah.
but no, and like it holds up so well in fact that I found myself like getting like legitimately anxious at one point in
Oh
that
yeah.
I want to say I was like the 6th level in or something like that, and like my health is finally like at this point my health is finally starting to kind of get like low. It's like dipping into the 50s. I've done a really good job of killing all the enemies right away, and and making sure that my health stays on top and whatnot. But like now, like the game is throwing so much at me that like it's actually kind of starting to kick my ass. And you know, I got like the yellow key or whatever key I had to get to open up the next area in the level, and I open it up and it's dark. It's like pitch black, and like you can only see a couple inches in front of you, and like there's like small flashes of light, so it kind of illuminates a little bit, and I can see some enemies off in the distance, and like I am legitimate, like I'm getting anxious and like kind of freaked out. I'm like, I don't want to go in there. I'm gonna fucking die if I go in there, you know? And it's like if you open the door and you walk away, the door closes, so you can't like draw them out. They're stuck in that room. You have to go in that room to attack them. And for a game that's like 20 years old, that's kind of amazing in this day and age, like for a person like me to like still get that feeling while playing it. That was like pretty neat.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good testament to how great Doom is, you know.
Yeah, I think I recall the level that you're talking about too. Oh yeah, that actually hits on a really good point. The ability to draw enemies through doors and choke points.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that with Doom. They won't go through that door.
Right.
Like you could open that door, they'll be on the other side of it. They'll shoot at you. They will not walk. They will not walk across it.
No.
That's where that's their boundary. They all had hard boundaries, you know.
Mm-hmm. The only boundary that they'll pass is like what's the word I'm looking for? Elevators and whatnot, you know.
Oh yeah, the follow you in elevators.
Yeah, they'll come off of those and everything, but yeah,
but like I'm talking about like between levels where it was like you end a level and it starts you at another level that's like just through a door.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like even though you can still open that door and kind of walk out to the other, like that area doesn't exist to those enemies, you know.
Right.
So yeah, you don't get that luxury. Because again, so much data at a time, right?
Mm-hmm. So I played Doom most of this morning, and then I decided to check out Doom 2, and I've never really played Doom 2. So I've played, you know, the original Doom like when I was 15, you know, and I've had my run-ins with it and everything like that. But I've never like I've probably played a little bit of Doom 2 over the years, but I've never really sat down and like tried to play Doom 2. And first off, like when you just think about Doom 1 and Doom 2, they look identical. Like you would look at a screenshot and be like, I can't tell which one that is. That's Doom, you know.
Right.
But like playing it, like the graphics actually looked kind of better. That was a weird first thought that I had when I booted it up and started playing. I was like, this looks kind of better. Are you looking up screenshots now?
No, actually, I was looking up the release date on Doom 2.
Oh, I want to say 95 or 96. You know what? No, it was probably
94.
Yeah, 94. They probably pumped that out like right afterwards.
Wow, man, 1 year. Huh.
Yeah. Dude, development time back then wasn't that long, you know?
Well, especially for a game like this. They already had the engine and everything. All they had to do was make more levels.
Yeah, yeah. You know, but yeah, those...
I kind of wonder if that's just an effect from playing it. You kind of get used to looking at it, you know, or if it actually does look better on the second one with only a year difference.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think that it kind of can't, you know. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like leaps and bounds better, you know. It's not it's not like the jump from Doom to Quake, but like there's a little more detail in the sprites, and in the enemies and everything, and it's just, like you can tell the difference, and the textures on the walls, like they're not the same textures, you know. So it may not even be the fact that they're better; they're just different,
right?
You know? And
well, I mean, it could be. It's you know, I'm sorry to cut you off. It's a year. You know, it's a year in technology, and a year in technology can be a good amount.
Dude, a year in technology for John Carmack, you know, is fucking nothing, man. That dude can do anything.
All right.
So
But I mean, we're also, we're talking about games in an age where like, video cards didn't exist.
yeah.
Well, okay, I'm sorry, they existed, but I'm talking like performance video cards didn't exist.
Hmm.
You know, that shit was all being rendered by your CPU. There were limitations,
Yeah, definitely.
So, but then again, like a year, and I mean, dude, we had, and I'm sorry, this is a
Here goes old man Penrod on his old man rant of the day. Back in
we
my
jumped
days.
we jumped from a 486 DX4 120 megahertz computer to a Intel Pentium 1 300 megahertz computer.
Hmm.
Uh, Now, albeit those didn't come out between, there wasn't a 1 year time between those. I'm sorry, it was 266 and then 300 megahertz.
Yeah.
That was the year. We went from 266 to 300 megahertz in 1 year, dude. And like now, you're not going to notice 33 megahertz.
Hmm.
But then, dude, it made the world a difference. When you only had 200 megahertz to deal with, and another 33 gave you another 100,
Yeah.
or put you at the next 100. Yeah, it was worth it. Now it's not worth it. But anyway, old man Penrod's done.
Back to his cave.
I'm sorry, I talk too much.
Oh, you don't talk. You don't talk enough. That's the problem. Um,
Oh, you want me to talk more? You just shut your face and sit there and be pretty. Oh my God.
so I played a little bit of Doom 2, and I can't even get past the first level. So Doom 2,
Really?
like picks up where Doom left off in that the first area has 3 times as many enemies as the first area the original Doom had. Literally, the first level of Doom, if you play it on Hurt Me Plenty, has like 8 enemies. At most, 8 enemies. The first area of Doom 2 has probably fucking 30. It's nuts.
Really?
Yes. And I
Wow.
am not like kidding or like exaggerating or anything. I haven't counted, but it's a lot, man, and it is fucking rough. Like, I have almost contemplated dropping the difficulty, but I am not the type of person who plays, a game on easy. Especially a game like Doom. You don't play Doom on easy.
What's
The
it
game makes
called?
fun of you for playing it on easy.
Yeah, it does. What's it called? The easiest mode on there? It's like
Ah, fuck, I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Because it's like...
I never even consider it. It's like not even an option. Why would you just want to play the game on the easiest difficulty and be able to just blow everything away
Right.
with no challenge?
Instead, you play on the hardest difficulty and put on God mode.
Who the
That
hell
was a
does that?
joke. That was a joke.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I played Doom 2, which then led me to play Duke Nukem 3D, and I've
Oh my
played.
God, why did you not call me? I was my beer over, man. Dude.
Um, so I played some.
That game
What?
sucks.
No, man. No, dude, Duke 3D like still holds up really well.
Hey, that
Um,
was did you check out one of these games? You had the option to turn on mouse aiming.
hmm
It's either Doom 2 or Duke Nukem 3D.
Duke Nukem 3D has it.
Did you check and see if Doom 2 has it?
I didn't check. Well,
No,
I don't
because
think
it
that.
didn't. Because I remember just shooting and it hitting enemies like up there.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So what was I trying to say? Yeah, Doom 2, I'm pretty sure doesn't have it, and I had the BFG edition, so like it's right from the get-go you can control it like a modern FPS. You don't have to use like the arrow keys and the page up, page down keys and whatnot that you assholes had to use back in the day. Which that's been like the other thing with playing all these old games. is you boot them up and like Wolfenstein and Duke 3D both had to boot from fucking DOSBox,
Yeah.
and they're so old and archaic, and I'm like trying to I'm trying to just like I made the first mistake of just jumping right in and thinking that I could just play with my mouse and keyboard no problem, and finding out that that was not the case. So I have to go in and fiddle with the options, and the options don't really give you the controls like that I want to play with, that I'm used to playing with. Because I mean, shit, I'm used to playing a first-person shooter with a controller, because I've been a console gamer most of my life. Oh, shut up!
Gonna change you.
Your
over
eyes
to that.
rolled so hard that like I could hear them hitting your back wall.
Yeah, no, they're like.
But so
Well,
from
yeah, they had to run from DOS, because like that's all there was.
right.
The Win32 environment or the Win16 environment didn't even exist.
Old man Penrod came back out from his cave.
I'm sorry.
Back in my day, we didn't have
No,
anything
come
but
on, man.
DOS.
That's what I'm here for, Like I have an older perspective on shit,
You do.
So that's,
You do, and that's why I'm glad to have you.
I mean, dude, to start up Doom, you type, you went to the directory where it was at, you typed in Doom or start.exe or doom.exe or I want to die.exe or whatever the hell the executable was called.
Back in my day, if you wanted to play Doom, you had to tell the computer to play it. You had to hope that it was a good day, or else the computer wouldn't play it.
So anyway, you were going somewhere. You were Doom and Doom 2 had to boot from DOSBox.
No, Wolfenstein and
Or Wolfenstein and Doom 2.
Duke
1.
Duke 3D. Doom 1 and 2, because I have them in the BFG edition, they didn't have to. They just boot from Steam. And what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
I had to download some mods and whatnot to get the games to change the controls for me, so that I could actually play them. And it was,
look at this guy fucking modded the game.
Well, and
started it.
Here's the other weird thing. So Wolfenstein 3D had the option to use the mouse, but you still had to you couldn't set strafe keys to both A and D. It was like you had to press one strafe key and then move left or right. I don't know how to. It was like counterintuitive, made no sense to me. Plus, both Duke and Wolfenstein have this thing where they think you want to control the game with the mouse. So you move the mouse forward to walk forward.
Walk forward. Yeah.
You move the mouse back to walk back. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And the worst part is you can't turn it off, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off in Duke 3D. So like, even though I'm moving with the keyboard, every time I move the mouse to shoot, I'm moving.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing that mode, and I mean, fucking trackball mice, the mouse ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not lasers. So you had to like with that thing to like walk down a hallway. Who the fuck play the games like that? I want to know. I want to find one fucking person. If you're watching this shit, respond right now if you fucking played that game. Any of those games like that, because you're retarded. That's horrible. Who the hell did that shit?
Them's fighting woods.
Yeah, bring it on.
So, all right. Anyway, so I downloaded some mods for Wolfenstein and Duke, and Duke actually had a high res mod that I put on there that was kind of neat. So,
to see that.
Yeah, well, like, it's kind of cool at first, but then you realize that everything just kind of looks like shit. Because, like, yeah, it's high res, but it looks like, a student project that they did in, I don't know, some crappy third-rate engine that they built in, in class. I don't know. It's.
Is it a rebuild of the game or an attempt to make the pixels smaller? Or what?
Well, it changes all the pixels to polygons, essentially.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you look up, I think it's like eDuke 32 or something like that. If you look that up, you'll see some screenshots or Duke 3D HDR. I think it's the high def resolution pack or something. You'll see the photos on there, and like I mean, it looks cool at first, and when you keep playing it, you realize that it's like,
It kind of
okay.
looks like like one of the first couple editions of the Unreal Engine,
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. So,
at least for the
um,
environment. The enemies still look like shit.
So, but yeah, so just from playing Rise of the Triad, I've started checking out some old school FPSs that I missed, and I'm pretty glad that I did because like they're still really fun to this day. And thank God for QuakeCon being this weekend because Steam was putting a lot of this stuff on sale. My issue though, and this is the big one, is I haven't really played a lot of Quake or Quake 2 or Quake 3 or any of the Quakes. I've never really played a whole lot. And I
Right.
was like kind of getting excited that this weekend was QuakeCon, and I was like, sweet, Steam will put, Quake on sale. And the sale ends tomorrow, and they put Dishonored on sale, they put Wolfenstein on sale, they put Fallout on sale, and they put Skyrim on sale. They didn't fucking put Quake on sale. And you know what the fucking weekend's called? It's called fucking QuakeCon.
Isn't there one more day?
Yeah, well, no. Today was like the last day for the sale. It just changes tomorrow.
What?
Yeah.
You can't put 17th through the 21st and not have it go through the 21st. There's got to be
Well,
one more game.
I mean, I could be wrong. Let me pull up Steam right quick. Um, I mean,
And which
normally,
Quake are you talking about? Like the first one?
yeah,
Because that should be cheap anyway.
huh?
The first Quake should be pretty cheap anyway.
It is $10 normally. It's on sale this weekend for $7.50.
Okay, so it's on sale.
First, yeah, but I mean, it's not a featured deal.
Yeah, but it's still on sale.
Yeah, but for 25%. I mean, come on. In this day and age, like 25% off a game, that's bullshit. I
I
can't do
hate I hate to
25%
keep
off.
doing this to you, but they're all on sale.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I've already looked at the deal, but
All right,
like I've said before, you
it's
know,
not good enough sale.
yeah, it's not a good enough sale.
Quake 2. That's the first one I ever played.
And specifically like the QuakeCon bundle that they have, which bundles a bunch of the games together for $100, doesn't have Quake on there. It has Dishonored, Doom, Fallout, Skyrim, and Wolfenstein. That's it.
Wow.
You know, um, and it's just like I really want to check out Quake, but I don't want to pay $7.50 for it. And you know what? Fuck it. I maybe I should. You think I should buy Quake?
No,
Why?
I think you should. I think you should wait for a better sale. I've seen it. I've seen it on. I've seen it on better sales.
See, and I have two.
It's a pretty weak sale. I mean, I mean, I understand what you're getting at. But at the same time, like Quake is very popular.
Hmm.
So I mean, I can see where they're coming from too, and not wanting to put it for like put it up on sale for like $2 because they know like everybody will buy it, and then there go all the Quake sales for the rest of Steam.
Hmm.
So I mean, well, I say everybody will buy it loosely, but I probably wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
But
Um, but I mean, so I know that it's gone on sale before. But I've checked the numbers, and it hasn't gone on sale at 75% off for 2 years.
uh,
And I feel like the fact that it's not going to go on sale for QuakeCon means it probably won't go on sale for like the fall or winter sale. And it's just like I really want to play some fucking Quake, man. Like I got an itch right now, and I feel like I just need to scratch it because otherwise it's just gonna go away, and I'm not gonna.
which one would you buy?
Honestly, I would probably like if I could, if they were cheap enough, I would buy all 4 Quakes. Now they have a
'Cause how
bundle.
much?
They have a bundle deal for you can get Quake 1, 2, and 3 for like 22.50, I think.
I think wouldn't you just be good to get Quake 1, 2, and 3
Hmm.
and skip Quake 4 because from what I understand, Quake 4 is no good.
Actually,
I'm sorry if that's heresy, but that's what I've been told.
well, it's well regarded that Quake 4 is not as good as
God, it looks just like Doom. Like Doom 3.
well, and it ran on id Tech 3, which was the Doom 3 tech, or no, id Tech 4, I think was the Doom 3 tech.
Yeah,
But
it looks exactly like it.
you know, it's regarded as not being as great, but I will say that I've played quite a bit of it, and I mean, it's fun, you know, and it still has that like classic, you know, Doom slash I guess Quake feel, you know, old
Do
school.
you still get the nail gun?
Yeah, of course you get the nail gun. This is fucking
Dude,
Quake.
I remember playing that shit for the first time, dude, and it was like I picked that up and it was like nail gun, and I was like, oh, this game's brutal. You know? Because
Nice.
like in Doom, do you get a chainsaw in Doom?
Yeah, you get a chainsaw and Doom.
Yeah. Uh,
Not that effective,
yeah, not that
specifically
effective.
because you have to get up close to the enemies.
Yeah, that's where you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Not for that game. So yeah, so you're in old school FPS mode.
Yeah, and I gotta say I'm enjoying it. There's a lot of games that I missed out on because I didn't grow up with a gaming PC, and it's just like I mean we talked about it a little bit last week when we were talking Rise of the Triad, but there's a certain uh, you know frantic like pace that these shooters have that modern shooters don't. You know, um,
Yeah.
and to kind of jump into news for just a minute, Doom 4 got revealed at QuakeCon, and the video that they showed, the gameplay video that they showed, apparently was very fast-paced and frantic, meh. Um, so it sounds like they're trying to get back to more of the roots of Doom, which is pretty cool. I'm interested to see that. The video was for QuakeCon attendees only, so it'll be a while before we see it.
Oh boy. Really though, I mean the fourth one, that third one was just shit. Um, and yeah, I know I have, yeah, I understand that I have extreme opinions, but
Hmm.
dude, and it's not because it's bad memory. Like I said, a couple years ago, I played that game
Hmm.
all the way through for the first time, mind you. It still scared the piss out of me too, by the way. 'Cause dude, there's so much just round a corner, blah, shit just up in your face, dude. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Uh,
Doom 3 is pretty notorious for those jump scares.
God, fucking killed me. But then fighting the fucking cyber demon at the end, dude. I do like how you go to
Yawn
hell.
inducing.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Um,
It's pretty late.
yeah, but yeah, dude, I do like that you go to hell in it. That that was kind of cool. Which actually, if memory serves you, you go to hell in all of them. Because I know that at least the second one ends while you're in hell.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, yeah, that was pretty cool. I found it relatively easy though, but then that cyber demon dude was nigh impossible, dude. Seriously,
Yeah.
like you couldn't just damage him. You know, you had to do like other things. You had to like shoot these altars or something and to take down like a shield that he had and then shoot him. You know, it was just fucking
Oh,
stupid.
that's always fun.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You know, we had this rule in the other podcast. Yeah, I ultimately cheated. to beat that guy. I got all the way to that guy, and then threw on God mode and unlimited ammo.
But you're a cheating fuck.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what? I'd like to see you beat it.
All right, I'll beat it.
Oh no, you won't.
Yeah, well,
You
fuck
can
you.
cheat all the way to the last level, throw the cheats off, and then go for
I'll
it.
I'll do it.
That guy's gonna pound your face in, dude.
I'll do it, and we'll catch it on video soon at some
All
point.
right,
I don't
we'll
know,
do it. Yep,
but we'll do it. Damn it.
all right.
I don't know, dude. Doom 3 is like a pretty long game.
Yeah.
I remember because I did play. I played it all the way up to hell. And I played it back on the original Xbox.
Oh.
No. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's. I actually really thought that it was gonna end there, like pretty quickly as soon as you get to hell. But no,
yeah, you
kept
go through
going
hell
there
for quite a
for
while.
quite some time. Yeah.
hmm So yeah, they just announced. Well, it's already been announced, but Doom 4. They're just calling it Doom. So it's probably going to be a reboot or whatever. I don't know. Fuck it. But I'm kind of excited, especially after hearing they're trying to go for the more old school approach as opposed to, what Doom 3 was, which was more like a horror game. I mean,
Right.
like Doom's always been like a pretty tense and atmospheric first-person shooter, but the pace of it was much more, crazy than scary. So Doom 3 was a bit of a weird offset. I don't know what I'm trying to say anymore, but
No, no, I get you.
mhm.
It totally was. I actually remember um, playing the demo of Doom 3 with my cousin over at his place one time, and it was an unfinished demo. I think it was a leak or something.
Mhm.
But like some of it was playable and some of it wasn't, dude. And I totally remember there was this one there was this one part where you look down a hallway and you could see a shadow of an enemy that wasn't like finished yet.
Mhm.
So like it didn't attack you or anything. It just stood there, dude.
Mhm.
That scared the shit out of both of us. Dude. We were like, "Ah, what the fuck?" But yeah, it really was. It was different. They made it take. Uh,
It wasn't the same Doom.
it was it just yeah it just like the original Doom. I mean, but then again, how do you make the original Doom like terrifying like that?
Well, and
You kind of can't.
that was kind of the other thing too is you had Doom in '93, Doom 2 in '94, and then Doom 3 in like 2003, 2004. I don't remember what year it came out, but so much time had passed in between that it was like, well, what is Doom? I mean, for it was kind of like that was the game that we were making at that time, and this is the game that we wanted to make at this time. But um, you know, it now is a completely different fucking beast. I wouldn't even call it a beast anymore. They've lost a lot of key members there and whatnot. So I'm
Right.
interested to see what happens with this. They're introducing IdTech 6 for Doom 4, so I mean it's probably going to look really fucking pretty, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm very interested, and just playing through old Doom has made me like suddenly get back into Doom. So, but yep, that was kind of the extent of my week for the most part. But I did play a different game, and I'm sure you played that same game.
um, what game?
A little game called Risk of Rain.
What are you talking about? I never played that game before.
Oh, you never heard of it?
No, never heard. Yeah,
Oh.
right. Dude, that game is fan fucking tastic, dude. Seriously. The little two-person project, a
hmm
couple of students, Washington University, if I recall, made it. What are you laughing at?
You went through this exact same spiel last week.
Okay,
I don't mean to
they
say
don't know
spiel.
that.
Well, you're
Anyway,
you're true. If nobody listened to it last week, yeah, I guess this would be the first time that you've heard it. But
yeah, I mean we're recapping, so
yeah,
Yeah, that game's fun. What do you think about it?
Um,
Let's you go first because I already had my opinion. I played it more than you did. So
so yeah, I played it a little bit more, and I definitely warmed up to it more. It's how do I put this? Like, it's a very strange, like roguelike type of game, where it's like it gets for God, I just like I can't put into words what it is exactly. It's just like it's got a good hook to it, It's like you're constantly trying to do better, and like you're really like it does a good carrot on the stick type of deal with its power ups and what they do, and there's so many different types of power ups that you're always trying to see like which one does what and how it'll play better, and like you can have runs that are just fucking amazing, and you feel like a god, and then you have runs where you're like, that fucking blew up in my face,
yeah, yeah,
you
really.
know. And then playing co-op and whatnot, that's a great experience in and of itself. And I was really hoping that we would play that yesterday or tonight before the show, but I never got around to it. But so I unlocked the second character that you get to play as,
Oh, okay.
and um, I think we both tried it out, and we were both kind of like, oh, I don't know, I don't really like it too much. I think it was Friday we were talking about that, and then all day Saturday when I was playing it, I played as the Enforcer, I think is the name of the character, and I got really, really good at it. And I really wanted to play co-op with you to see like how we could do like you playing Commando, me playing Enforcer, and seeing
Mhm.
how we could use the different tactics to our advantage.
Yeah, that would be cool because I think the only games we played together were we were both commandos.
Hmm.
Um, I tell you what, dude, I can't get off that commando. I don't really like that enforcer a whole lot because I mean he's got a really powerful skill in that he can drop his shield
Hmm.
and then take no damage from the front,
Hmm.
which is amazing for the projectile enemies.
Hmm. Well,
Um,
like what I kept doing in the strategy that I had was I would get as many enemies as I could. I would back myself up to the ledge. Sorry, I just took a drink of water. I need to like burp or something.
yeah,
I would back myself up to the ledge and I would drop my shield, and they would all be coming at me, and I would just, fire away at them. You could use the shield bash to kind of push them back, and
right,
it would send them flying a good distance.
yeah,
That would give you a little extra room to kind of keep hitting them. And then I would use the stun grenade, which would push them back a little bit, but also stun them for a minute. And I was just kind of using those in tandem, and I found it like the only thing that was giving me a hard time was the bosses, and because the enforcer is a much slower enemy, it's really hard to like you're facing like the Magnum Worm or what was the jellyfish one?
the wandering,
Vagrant.
yeah, wandering vagrant, yeah.
Yeah. Because they move much faster, like you really got to be on top of your game to make sure you're not getting hit all the time.
Now,
Um,
now, wandering vagrant. The only thing you have to worry about is the little balls that he shoots out.
that's true, yeah.
Like
Um,
touching the boss doesn't hurt you.
that's true.
So
But with the enforcer's shield ability, if I recall correctly, that does not stop those balls from attacking you.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Yeah, so it's not like I
Okay.
could just like back myself into a corner, use those balls, and just fire away on them. I'd have
Right.
to
Yeah. You have to
constantly had to
move.
keep moving. And he's so much slower than the commando that it was pretty easy to get hit a lot.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. With the
um,
commando, I pretty much just stay in the middle of him while he shoots those balls out.
mhm.
And just trash him. And then when he shoots the balls out, then right as the first one starts hitting me, just like juke out of there, and they all go towards him. And then I
Yeah.
shoot him, and run back to him, and just keep drilling him.
Hmm.
So
Um, so yeah, I was playing a lot of that, and I was really starting to dig it. And I know, so when I was playing with you, what we were doing a lot was like trying to get as many power ups as we could before we fought the boss, and like clearing out every part of the level, and everything like that before we decided to move on. And as you know, like as the longer that you stay in the game, the harder that it gets. Like it's got the bar over in the upper right hand corner that every 5 minutes increases the difficulty. And I found that if you try to defeat the boss like after you get to like level 5 and before it goes to easy mode as opposed to very easy, the second level's like leaps and bounds easier than the first level. You
Right.
know, even though you're not going in with as many power ups and everything costs a little bit more, like as long as you're doing everything right, you'll still get more than enough money in the second level to get more power ups and everything like that. And you can kind of keep progressing. Um, but dude, that game gets like ridiculously hard after a while.
Dude, I can get to the third level pretty consistently, but dude, I just get thrashed by the time I'm there, man.
Hmm.
Like the amount of damage that, like, if you just rush to the third level, you can't do any damage to those enemies.
Hmm.
And if you, um, take your time on each level, get every power up you can, and go to the third level, then they spawn like fucking crazy.
All right.
So I mean, it's like you still can't do enough damage.
Hmm.
But like it's like you can't do enough damage to all of them, or you can't do enough damage to like one of them, and you just get trashed anyway.
Yeah.
Because it takes so long to kill them at that point. I think, well, actually, I'm gonna say this, but I think the key is to just burn through the levels as fast as possible. Like, I started just as soon as I find the teleporter, just starting that thing,
Hmm.
you know, and then get to where I can kill all those enemies, and then as quickly as I can while staying alive, and then hit the teleporter. But the thing is, dude, on the third level, I haven't even seen the fucking teleporter. I die so quickly. By the time I'm there, it's ridiculous. So.
I haven't even made it to the third level yet. Actually, no. I think I did. Yeah, I made it with you. Uh,
Yeah, because I
because I died and then you were able to keep me
Yeah,
going.
you died in the second level, and then I spent like 20 minutes trying to trying to
Yeah.
get us out of there. It's freaking nuts,
That
dude.
was that was pretty
Man,
crazy
I was
because
doing some work,
you
dude.
had that ability where every time or you had that item every time you used it, it would create a ghost of all the enemies on screen, and then the ghost would attack attack the enemies and whatnot. And you just kept doing that over and over and over and over.
Oh yeah,
Um, God, yeah, that
man,
game.
that's an OP item, dude.
Yeah.
I've got a video up on YouTube. It's a public video. If you want to see it, go to YouTube, type in like risk of rain LOL or something like that. I think that's what the title is. You just type in risk of rain.
Hmm.
That's how it's tagged, so it should pop up. It's by Raceland355. That's my YouTube handle, which I got to go through and get all these the same. Because God, there's 159,000 results.
I thought you were gonna say there's 159,000 views. I was like, dude, you just became popular overnight.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah. Type in risk of rain LOL. All right.
Okay.
And then you'll find it, and it's a video of me. Ignore the audio; it's just ridiculous banter.
Hmm.
But it's a video of me playing Risk of Rain on the first level.
Hmm.
I'm using an artifact, and only a single type of enemy will spawn.
Yeah.
Okay, it's called the Kin artifact, and dude, that is an excellent artifact for farming. I mean, and just getting just shit tons of items,
Hmm.
especially if you're lucky enough to pick up the 56 leaf clover, because then elite items can drop items then. So then you get a whole bunch of items that you might not have already gotten.
Yeah.
Actually, you probably wouldn't have gotten. And I can't remember how many items I actually have in the video, but I picked up that ghost thing in that video, and I just let them fucking spawn and spawn and spawn and spawn and spawn, and then just hit that thing, dude. It just does so much damage, dude, and it lags my FPS really bad.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was a good time.
One power up that I picked up that was pretty neat. I forget what it was called, but it was every time that I would uh, kill an enemy, it would like shoot off like these like this I don't know what the fuck did they call it? It was like a spirit ray or something like that. You may have heard of it, or you may have gotten it. But what it does
Oh
is,
yeah, the little purpley things that
yeah,
go and
yeah,
attack.
yeah.
Yeah, dude,
And every
that thing's
time,
great.
yes. Oh my, and like the first level, you get those like fucking those jellyfish that will always hit you, and they're like super annoying because like nothing that you do will push them back. Um, but that, oh my god, man, you would kill like 5 or 6 enemies, and like they would be coming in to get you, and those little spirit ray things would just come up and like snatch them and kill them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was so beautiful. It was so nice to not have to deal with those fucking assholes anymore.
Yeah, I like that that spirit that thing. That's a rare item though, so
Hmm.
relish it whenever you pick it up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Um, but I like that one, and oh, I've had that set off like chain reactions. Like I kill a singular enemy, the spirit rays go and hit some another enemy, it kills them, and then those shoot off and kill another one, dude. It's just all around the screen. It's pretty neat to watch. It's fun. One of my favorite ones though is this. Again, it's a rare item. I've only had it like twice, and actually the second time I had it, I picked up two of them. Um, which but it tethers you to an enemy, just
Yeah.
does damage to him with this big beam,
Hmm.
Dude, that thing is really fun to get, because just the sheer amount of damage that it does is wild,
Hmm.
you know. But again, rare items, so good luck. Yeah, I hate that though. They have the rarities on. I mean, of course they have to, because some of them are just so OP. You can't you can't let that shit drop.
Right. I mean, they gotta
Uh,
be special.
yeah, so you can't let that shit drop every game, dude. So, although in my opinion, they need to make the kitchen the rusty knife.
Yeah.
They need to
More
make
rare.
that. They need to make that more rare. Because dude, I've picked up like five of those things, and if I recall correctly, it stacks to seven.
Oh
Up
my
to seven.
god.
100% chance to make them bleed, dude. So like, think about that. If you have enemies trailing you in a line, you turn around and hit them with that, like with the Commando's Full Metal Jacket shot that goes
Hmm.
through everything, just
Yeah.
douche, and now everything in that line is bleeding, dude. Yeah, that's serious OP. I mean, come on. Okay, good luck getting seven of them, but I've had it up to five.
That's
All
crazy.
right. So I mean, although I've also had five 56 leaf clovers too, but um, before. But yeah, dude, that game is so much fun, and I'm really surprised at how much I'm digging on that game. Uh,
It's well
that's
made. It
that's
it
cool.
really is, and
Yes.
it takes like a lot of the ideas that have become popular now, like roguelites and procedurally generated games, and everything of that sort, and 8-bit pixel graphics and all that, but it melds them together so well, and it's like it's just such a joy to play, and it really does. It feels like a lot of skill, and when you finally overcome like one of the bosses, or you finally get that one item that you've been hoping for, it's just like the amount of joy that it can give you is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Um,
So
yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, I meant to tell you this, dude. You know those those Colossus enemies?
yeah.
Um, I I can't remember all the power ups I had, which doesn't matter, dude. I seriously killed that guy in like 2 freaking seconds, dude. He spawned right on me, and I dropped those mines and shot him like a couple of times. That tether thing went out, and every single one of those mines went off. Boom! He was dead, dude. It was so
Nice.
freaking nuts. Um, but yeah, that was satisfying as shit to watch. I was like, yeah, right. Like I got this shit,
Nice.
you know.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
So yeah, anything else you want to say on Risk of Rain?
No, that's about all I got.
Yeah.
Check out my video. It's pretty cool.
Baseline
No, it's not.
355.
It's stupid. Uh, so yeah.
Look for more Risk of Rain in the future. I'm hoping that we can do a let's play of that soon. So, um, any other games you want to talk about?
I don't know. Do you have any other games that you want to talk about?
No, not really. I know I see on the Google Doc you're highlighting Darkness 2 and everything like that, and I also did not get a chance to play the game that I assigned myself to play.
You suck.
Mostly because I didn't have a whole lot of time to invest in games, and the time that I did, I decided to invest in old school FPSs, which was probably a good idea because I wouldn't have to watch some sort of story start to unfold or anything like that. I could just jump in and start killing shit, you know.
Right.
I still plan on checking that out soon, but this week unfortunately just wasn't gonna do it for me.
That's all good. That's pretty much why I was doing that. I was asking you
Hmm.
if you
I,
had got
yeah, I
around to
figured as
playing
much.
it. But yeah, no. The last thing I got is LOL. League of Legends. Here we go. League of Legends hour. Pull up a
No.
chair. Um,
Come around, folks.
yeah, gather around the campfire. I'm going to tell you about a little game called League of Legends. Uh, League of Legends is better than Dota. Shut up, Dota fans. Anyway, nah, it's all good. I appreciate Dota for what it is, but I can't play it. I, I just don't have the desire. I've been playing LOL for way too long. At any rate, we all know this is backstory.
Hmm.
But the Doom bots of Doom.
What
This
are these
is
DOOMBOTS?
stupid. Okay, Riot likes to do game modes. Okay,
Hmm.
now everybody knows about Earth mode. You know, ultra rapid fire mode. It's freaking awesome. You didn't no mana costs, hardly any cooldowns. Just spam the shit out of your spells. And hope they died before you did. It was great. They've done like 2v2 mode and um, that was the Snowdown Showdown. That was a pretty good mode.
Hmm.
Um, and oh, and the same champion for both sides, or same champion. Five of the same champion on one side, five of a different champion on the other side, or just 10 of the same champion.
Hmm.
They do these goofy modes and stuff every now and then, which is a really nice touch and kind of breaks up the norm
Monotony.
for the game. Yeah, because like you can have too much Summoner's Rift, man. Uh,
No, you can never have too much Summoner's Rift.
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
ever
you
say
can.
that again?
Hey, I'm here to tell you that I love League of Legends, and you can have too much Summoner's Rift, okay? But the current game mode is actually not. It's a one-sided mode. There's only real people on one team. Okay, and then the other team is bots. Now, if you know anything about League of Legends, you know the bots are just remedial and stupid. All right, they're there so you can play the game and just see what's going on. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get skills. All right. From playing the bots, it's not going to improve your gameplay. What's going to improve your gameplay is getting your face stomped by other players because eventually you're going to learn the strategy. If you don't, then you need to stop um, because it's just not going to work for you.
I'm gonna
But
take your advice. That
yeah,
hurts, but I'm gonna take it.
you don't play enough, bro.
No,
Uh,
but I know every time I play against bots, they kick my ass.
well, again, you play like one game a month, maybe. So that's not enough, dude. It's a numbers game, dude. It's to absorb as much strategy as possible. Are you yawning?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
um, I'm boring him.
No, I'm not. You're not. Shut up. It's almost midnight. Shut up.
I know. Yeah, we're running long, man. Anyway, okay, so Doom bots of Doom. Now what they did was they took the bots and they gave you bots that'll actually strategize. Okay, and now that in itself would be tough, but they also gave them like multiple ultimate abilities, like each other's ultimate
What?
abilities. Okay, so and they buffed some of those ultimate abilities, like Lux. Everybody loves Lux's ultimate ability. She shoots that beam.
hmm
You know what I'm talking about, John?
Lux is the one, the frozen ice arrow person.
No, that's Ash.
Oh, okay.
Lux is the little girl that says Demacia a lot, blonde.
No, I don't know hers.
Okay. Anyway, she's got a bunch of like light attacks. Okay. Like she's got one that'll root. She's got another one that does like AOE damage, and her passive is whenever one of her abilities hits you, her next auto attack does more damage, right?
Hmm
All right. So, but her ultimate ability is a big laser, okay, that she can shoot down the lane. Now it doesn't travel. It travels like maybe like a 16th of the map. Like she
Yeah.
could stand in her base and shoot it to just outside of their base.
hmm
Um, so so it doesn't go that far, but it triggers fast and it's hard to get away from. It does a lot of damage. Well, in the Doombots mode, that ability shoots in every single direction. She shoots like 12 of them in a circle, just
Oh
everywhere,
my
dude.
god.
It's glorious to watch too, because she take out the whole team, dude. Uh,
Wow.
and like Annie has Tibbers, her little bear, that she throws out of the battlefield. He comes alive and stuns people and beats your face in. All right. Well, he's like 5 times the height, dude. He's huge in
hmm
this mode, and he throws you around and all kinds of shit, dude. It's just it's gnarly, man. And in the fifth difficulty, the last difficulty, there's only 3 difficulties: one, two, and five.
Yeah.
When you're up to 5 bombs, okay, though they like random shit happens. Like we've seen, like not against the Fiddlesticks, but all of a sudden Fiddlesticks jumps out of the weeds and starts ulting everybody, dude. And dude, it's so stacked against you, it's unreal.
Yeah.
And they like if you go for the dragon, dude, they'll teleport to the dragon. We've seen that 3 times. You know, they all of them teleport on the dragon and just freaking curb stomp you, dude. It's terrible.
I mean, like, is it possible to win any of this?
Yeah,
Okay.
we've beaten the first mode, second mode, not the fifth mode yet. Um, but see, the thing is there's a glaring hole in like there's the way to beat it, right? And that's to split push.
hmm
Okay, to have other people in the lanes, like everybody all in one lane blocking the rush, but then like one person running down one lane
Mm.
and just taking out turrets. They don't see that. They don't react to that.
Right. Because they're
So that's
stupid
kind of
robots.
yeah, exactly, because they are in fact bots. See, they made the Doom bots of Doom, but then they also put that into it. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Because dude, we played a game. It was against the level 2 bots. The game that we won against them. It's like it's like they gave up, dude. They just stopped reacting to us at all. So anyway, but yeah, Doombot to Doom. It's fun. It's it's a little bit of a challenge, a break from the norm, but personally, I'd rather be on Summoner's Rift playing against other people. Playing against bots is just kind of stupid.
Even if they are crazy bots, it's just.
Yeah, it's fun to watch to see all these crazy ults and all this extra shit. Oh yeah, Annie, whenever she's near your tower, she makes your tower pulse for damage that damages you. She makes her own tower damage you. Um, But yeah,
Wow.
I mean, it's neat to see this stuff, but like at the same time, this is not a game mode. Like I'm not going to play this over and over and over and over again. Like
Right.
I'm gonna beat them and then we're done and then we're out of here. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
just it's it's kind of dumb, especially once we figured out how to win.
Hmm.
That's held true. For every match. That we've done against them. So.
Hmm.
Um, So yeah, that's all I got for LOL. Didn't quite take an hour, so try to make it concise. But I love the shit out of that game. So
Yeah. Do I ever? It's funny. I just realized the word that we've probably said the most on this episode of the podcast is Doom.
yeah, probably
Weird fact of the day.
it's all your fault.
You can't say Doom on a plane. Doom, 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 to doom.
What the hell are you talking?
All right, all right, all right, all right,
You're getting
all
all.
right. So with that, I've got nothing else to talk about as far as games go. Do you got anything there, Kyle?
I am officially exhausted.
All right. With that, let's go ahead and move it on over to news.
Yay! Here's the news, 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 news.
News, 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 news. So since we are running a little long, I'm gonna not necessarily skip past this first one, but just kind of gloss over it a little bit. It Let me pull up the news story real quick just to make sure I don't miss anything. It looks like Google in the Google Play Store will no longer be calling games with in-app purchases free. They're going to start this over in Europe, and what that means is, so I mean, there's a lot of games that are free, but they've got a shit ton of in-app purchases, and a lot of the times you can barely even play the game unless you start buying, some sort of form of currency or something like that. So even though the game is free to download and play, it's not even worth playing unless you put some money into it. So what Google is doing in the sense is on the Play Store, I'm not sure exactly what they're going to put in there. I'm reading the report right now. It doesn't say exactly what they're going to put in there, but essentially it won't just say free anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
So I mean, so what's it gonna say? Like
Um,
free to download, but you got to pay to win or pay to
I
play.
I'm not sure 100%, but I don't know if Google does this already, but I know Apple does this on the iTunes or on the App Store, and it'll say free, and then right underneath the button to press for to download it and whatnot, it does say in-app purchases. So, and they do
Will
this a
it
lot.
have ads in said app?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So you're getting ads and you have to purchase shit to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? Everybody's gonna make money.
Not play those games.
Yeah. Well, and I see this a lot actually. So I have an iPad and I have a 3-year-old, and she likes to play a lot of games on there and whatnot. And she has a lot of free games on there, and it's sickening like how much she actually can't play the game because it requires her to purchase something, or oh my god, the ads, I can't even begin to explain to you the ads and like how annoying they are and whatnot. And like I get the game is free and you need to monetize it some way because you have a living to make and kids to feed yourself, but man, this is not the way to go about it.
Yeah. They man, I don't. Where do I start? Like I saw this coming. With this kinds of shit, and dude, they're totally like, why does a kids game have in-app purchases?
I wish I could answer that for you. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's so that you, not, and this is a rhetorical you, but so that you, a irresponsible parent, put your damn credit card number in there. Actually, does that just tie to your iTunes account? Like, does that just automatically, like, if you hit the purchase button, does that just automatically charge? Like,
Not
do you
automatic.
have to tell the app what your credit card number is too?
No, so I don't have to tell the app what my credit card number is. That's tied to my iTunes account. It specifically will ask me to put in my password.
Oh,
And
okay.
once I put in my password, that's essentially authorizing it to make that purchase.
Oh, okay.
Now I will say in a lot of these kid games and whatnot, they have like I guess quote unquote extra security. Some of the good ones are they'll if you try to buy something, it'll come up with a screen and you have to enter in a number and it tells you to give it to the adult. The adult enters the number and then it'll ask you to enter in your password to confirm the purchase. And uh, these games are made for like 2, 3-year-olds who can't read, so the
Oh,
number is
yeah.
just spelt out. So it'll be like 252, but they'll spell out two, they'll spell out five, and they'll spell out two. So a kid who can't read just looks at it and it's just a bunch of letters. And they're like,
Right. They
what the fuck is
can't
this?
tell. All right.
But if you give it to an adult, they can just type in 252 and then type in the password and whatnot. So, I
Oh, okay.
mean, some developers, to at least try to make good on it. And Apple's put a lot of restrictions on this type of thing, because yeah, a lot of kids have, iDevices and play these games and it, don't understand the value of a dollar. You know,
Well,
um,
yeah, that's not taught anymore in the standard issue of Parenting 101.
yeah.
Uh,
We started a piggy bank for Natalie, and every time that she would, help us around the house or do something good, we would put money in her piggy bank. And one day she wanted to buy a game on there, and it was like $5. And I don't even know if she necessarily had $5 in there, but I went ahead and I bought it, and then I took all the money out of her piggy bank, and she wanted to buy another game, and I was like, you don't have enough money in here yet,
uh,
So I'm trying to instill some
right.
good morals and good ethics and everything in that tour. But yeah, kids don't understand the value of a dollar,
Oh,
and
hell no.
you know, kids don't understand that money doesn't
I mean,
grow on trees.
think about it this way, dude. Like, say you had that app, right? And then, um, fuck, I don't know. Say your kid knew your password.
Hmm.
They would just sit there and smack the button, type the password, and there you go.
Hmm.
And I mean, this has already happened.
Hmm.
There was some lady whose kid ran up like a $30,000 bill or something like that playing a game, or I don't know if it was that much, but I'd have to search for the story. I can't really cite my source right now, but I just remember reading it, and like they took it all the way to court, and like it ended up she had to pay it. Like, do your own parenting, lady. And I know I sound like I'm picking on parents a lot, but the shit happens, and it's going to happen. Like the marketing scheme for these games and shit like that out of the Apple Store, Android, fucking Microsoft Store, laughable. Um, but the marketing scheme is ridiculous, and like you said, it's sick how much like you can't even play the game like at all. Like
Hmm.
it's all geared towards micro purchases, and it's terrible that it fucking works.
Hmm.
Um, because yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I would. It seems to me like they're trying to be. Now, I do kind of agree with this, with them like relabeling the games, to be more of what they are.
Yeah.
you know I that's nice and that's commendable, but I don't think that I would be any less pissed off though if I knew that the game had in-app purchases to play it,
Yeah.
than I would be if it just said free and then it's like, hey, you got to buy this shit. you know I mean, at some point it's going to get to where like the thing's going to be labeled free in the whatever store, and you download it, and then it pops up and says, "Give me your credit card number and give me $5."
Yeah.
You know, and in that case, it's not free at all. It costs $5, but it was free to install it.
Hmm.
So whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's I'm glad that we're finally getting to the point of um, I guess self-policing maybe is the proper term. All this garbage that is on mobile stores and everything like that. It's good to see that somebody, especially a corporate entity like Google, is taking the initiative to, at least get rid of some of this fucking riffraff. As opposed to just
Yeah.
letting it build more and more, and until it gets to a head and explodes, and then where's the app store then? It's destroyed. It's a fucking wasteland. So I guess at least they're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's I'm glad they're making they're just going to be describing the software a little bit better.
Hmm.
That works for me. I'm behind it.
Yeah. So next up on the chopping block, and this will be our last news story for this week, is the whole Yogscast debacle that's been going on this last week. So uh, I guess for backstory, Yogscast, kind of what are the Yogscast exactly? I know that you've watched them quite a bit.
They're YouTube personalities. They've got a whole bunch of people. They're called Yognuts. Over there at Yog Towers. They've got this whole dude. They started off playing Minecraft. These two guys, Simon and Lewis, and then it's just spun. And well, Hannah was there too at the conception, but sorry, Hannah, for the way that sounded. If you ever watch this, I love you. Um, but just like I love all you guys, dude. I absolutely love watching their content, dude. Especially Sips.
Hmm.
Holy shit, that guy is so fucking awesome, dude. But like, that's not what we're talking about. But yeah, they're YouTube personalities. They play video games. They record it and they laugh and have a good time, which is
Yeah.
like what we're trying to get into.
Yeah.
Um, they at this point, I would venture to say they are just making just money, just hand over fist, with just their YouTube channels.
Hmm.
Like I'm just gonna do a little quick experiment here. YouTube, and I'm gonna type in Sips. Okay. Active 3 days ago, 1,171 videos from this guy alone. Okay. His latest video uploaded 15 hours ago. Okay, has 113,019 views.
Damn.
All right. Um,
That's respectable.
I mean, yeah, uploaded it 15 hours ago. 1 day ago, 200,000 views for a single video.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, I mean, these guys are popular online,
Hmm.
and like I said, I would venture to say that they're making money, just all the money, you know,
All the
um,
money.
which I know I'm getting off base of what you asked, but which is why I don't subscribe to these stories that we're getting ready to talk about here.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and go into what the news story is exactly. So,
Right.
back in 2012, they started a Kickstarter for. They were asking for 250,000 to make a video game featuring, them or characters based off of their videos and everything of that sort. It was supposed to be a very Minecraft-esque video game. It's called Yogsventure, which I'm not going to say for the rest of this story because it like ties my tongue up every time I say it. Um,
Yogsventure.
yeah, Yogsventure. There, I just said it. Great, thanks.
Uh,
Um, and so that was 2 years ago that they did that, and they've been slowly plucking away at this game, and it has been the Yogscast personality themselves making the game. They got in a third party uh, to make this game. Developer that goes by Winter Cool, I think,
yeah.
and it all came to a head a couple days ago. in which they had to essentially cancel the entire project, and the Kickstarter actually ended up making about 500,000. I think it was like 50 or 560,000. I think it was the end total, something like that. And you know, a couple days ago they had to cancel it because they weren't able to get it finished. And I mean, that's, I guess kind of the tragic beauty of Kickstarter is that something that you put money in doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to get made. Everything can go wrong, you know. Um, but the thing that keeps coming up around this canceled Kickstarter is the fact that it doesn't sound like everything that they promised in the initial pitch was 100% true. Specifically, the developer that they were getting to develop this game was well experienced in developing, different things over the years. When in reality, it was like a 6-person team, and the person that they had set up to run it had never been a lead on a game before. So he didn't really know what he was doing. The big title for the article on Polygon was they had hired an artist to do work, do the artwork for them, and they gave him $35,000. And after 2 weeks, he left and went to LucasArts. And because of this, what's the man's name here? That Chris Vale was the man in charge of everything. Now this Chris Vale is not part of Yogscast. He was part of the developer that was, freelance to make the game. Chris Vale gave him $35,000 to do art for this, and in the contract, nowhere did it state that he actually had to be committed to this project. So after 2 weeks, the artist had gotten a job at LucasArts and left with the $35,000 and had no obligation to give it back, besides moral obligation. But apparently, he was pretty bankrupt in that department. So that's 35,000 of 56, or I'm sorry, 560 just out the fucking door. Doesn't matter. He didn't do any work either.
Right. But I mean, I'm looking on the Kickstarter website right now. They raised $500,000.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of a drop in the bucket. 35
That
grand.
that is, and where I'm getting at with this, and so the reason why I bring this story up is you have a very biased opinion, and I don't see that. I don't say that in a bad way. I say that in a, you're a fan of the Oddscast. You've watched a lot of their videos and everything like that. You really enjoy it. I haven't. I haven't really done any of this. So as an outsider looking in, it doesn't look bad on their part just yet. This just looks bad on, they really shouldn't have gotten Winter Cool Games to develop this game, because obviously they didn't know, the dude didn't know what he was doing. If you continue on and whatnot, who was the one that he had spoken to? Lewis Brindley. So that was one of the founders, right? Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simon. It was Simon and Lewis. Lewis is the skinny guy.
Yeah. So after that blunder happened, Lewis lost faith right away in my ability to run the company from a business standpoint, and then demanded that all the rest of the Kickstarter money that hadn't been spent be transferred to them right away. That amounted to about $150,000. And Vale said Yogscast was supposed to use the money to create and ship the physical rewards promised to the donors, and then hire at 100,000 the lead programmer for the project still lacked. So he gave him 150,000. 50,000 of it was supposed to be used to give out the physical rewards that you got for buying certain parts of the Kickstarter and whatnot. And then 100,000 of that was supposed to be used for a lead programmer to be put on the game, which was never done. And it goes on, and I'm sorry. I read this story like 3 times, but there's so much information in here. I probably should have read it like 10 times and gotten everything down before I did this. At the end of the day, you know, you you flash forward 2 years, and this Vale character has like had it pretty rough. He's even ended up going through a divorce over the whole situation because he spent so much time on this game. And he's kind of not necessarily gone at Yodscast for their handling of the situation, but he's just kind of put out there his side of the story, and I'll give him this much: like he takes all the fault for his mistakes. In no way does he try to pass the blame off to anyone else.
Wait,
Go
real
ahead.
quick. Who are we
Mhm.
talking about?
This is Chris Vale, the
Right.
developer at Winter Cool Games.
Right.
So he takes all of the fault, that he caused. So the hiring the artist for 35,000, and then that dude just up and leaving, and not, him not writing a better contract about it. He takes all that, all the credit for that. All the blame for that,
Right.
and you know Lewis recently just emailed all the donors, letting them know some of the information about what had happened. And this is where it kind of gets like a little. This is where it paints Yogscast in a bad light for me as an outsider looking in, not knowing much about the situation. So you've got Chris Vale over here, kind of giving a detailed report of what happened and taking the blame for what he feels, he did wrong. And not really putting a whole lot of blame on Yodscast, just saying, hey, I gave him this money and nothing ever came of it. And then you get Lewis Brindley's email that says, we're under no obligation to do anything, though promise that we're going to do our best to make this right. Um, they ended up giving a Steam early access key for another game to make good. Um, and then he later said that all donors should have received any physical rewards they were due. Now, where was the other one? Oh god damn it! What's the comment? Okay. In a comment published to the Yogscast subreddit, Brenly said, "We're not ready to make a detailed statement about what happened with Yogsventure. Winter Cool statement omits much, and I would disagree with a number of points, but there's no value into going into detail." Uh, that line right there, that there's no value going into detail, when he's directly talking to the people who gave him money, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. What are your thoughts on this, Kyle?
Um. Well, I mean, that's tragically worded. Um. Dude, I don't know. Um. I fully understand that when you're watching on air talent,
Mm-hmm.
you don't really know the person. Okay. You know the character that they're playing, and that that's all you know. You don't know anything about them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just like people. People watching us, if there is any, which by the way there isn't. Uh, but people watching us and listening to us, like, albeit we're a little more honest with our personalities on podcasts and things like that. Like, um, they still don't know us. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
um, they don't know what we're capable of. They don't know what we're thinking. Outside of the thing, you watch them for these 15-minute shows. And that's it. But at the same time, I have heard Lewis, stutter and stammer, and yeah, I'm gonna stand up for him. I have heard him on numerous occasions have trouble speaking. I think this is one of those cases. I kind of feel like he wrote the email and didn't, you know, and not that he really has to, like send it through Simon for um, for
Approval.
approval or and proofreading, which
Yeah.
Simon actually owns the company. Um,
Hmm.
so I mean, dude, he's just like that, But at the same time, I believe that they'll make it right, yeah, however they can. Now the thing is, now that's not to say if the community like rises up against them, which I'm actually terrified of, because I have a couple of things here about Kickstarter, and it's kind of like the dark side of Kickstarter. Whenever I hear about these stories, I actually keep a running list of problems that Kickstarter can cause people,
Hmm.
which I'll go to in a minute. If the community rises up against them and says, "Look, you either do this or X will happen," um, if it's unreasonable, it's unreasonable, and I fear that it will be,
Hmm.
you know. But on the at the same time, Kickstarter, everybody knows that they don't have to provide the item
Hmm.
or the good or the service or anything. You're at risk, for these little micro investments that they got going on here on Kickstarter, of not getting anything anyway.
Hmm.
Like look at the Reading Rainbow Kickstarter that LeVar Burton did. Which I mean, seriously, good on you, LeVar. They made like $2 million in like the first like 3 minutes
Oh yeah,
of
yeah.
that Kickstarter. But they got a lot of bad press because they made all of that money, like way more money than they asked for, you know. And they made all that money so fast, and even Seth MacFarlane a few days later got on board and pledged $1 million.
Hmm.
I don't know what it's up to now. I'd have to look. Um, but the Reading Rainbow Kickstarter was very successful. But then they got a lot of bad press because they're going to release it in the form of like an Android app, and you'll have to pay for the app.
Hmm.
And none of their backers are getting like a free app, you know.
Right,
So
right.
it's kind of like that's kind of shitty, you know.
Hmm.
So, but anyway, that's beside the point. There's always the chance that you're not gonna get anything. I mean, they they might not release that, and then Seth MacFarlane will have given him $1 million, and they didn't release it, and he's just got to live with that. It's on him. It's on the people that fund the Kickstarter. It's not a guarantee of service, or of service or good or anything, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everybody knows that, and I'm pretty sure that's what he was trying to convey with that first line of that they're not under any obligation to do anything.
No, and I do agree with you in that a I think this is just poorly worded, and not which is unfortunate, but also I guess kind of good in the sense that it doesn't like have that fucking corporate speak, which would have been like 10 times worse. Like this is just somebody making a poor choice of words,
Yeah.
which I can relate to more than a corporation trying to fucking backpedal something. Which I mean, Yogscast is very much at this point, not like a full blown corporation that you would normally see it in, but I would say they're getting damn near close to something of that sort.
No,
Um,
actually, dude, I actually think they are.
yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're incorporated, and I mean, they're a full blown company, dude.
Mhm.
They're cranking out content.
Yeah, what I'm saying, I don't think they're like a publicly traded company or anything like that. I could be wrong. Please
Um,
correct me if I'm wrong. Uh,
More than likely not. But
yeah, but you know,
real quick
mhm,
interjection.
mhm.
The Reading Rainbow, is 0 seconds ago. It's done. On July 2nd, it was done. $5,408,916 they raised
Nice. That's crazy.
of their goal of $1 million.
That is crazy.
So, I mean, they made plenty of money.
Hmm.
And my whole, my whole thing is like, if you make that much money, why can't you? I mean, they've got a quite an extensive list of things that you're getting if you um, uh, back them. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm reading while I'm doing this. I shouldn't do that. Then there's like all the way up to if you pledge $10,000 or more, you're going to get a visit from LeVar himself at a library of your
Oh yeah.
or visit the school or library of your choice
Hmm.
to read to children and parents, blah 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 blah, to basically do Reading Rainbow live. Um, so I mean that's the highest thing that you can get, and none of it is any kind of thing for the actual app.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever.
Um,
That was a news story weeks ago. So
so what I was getting at was, I agree with you that um, this isn't your normal, corporate backpedal that backfires on them, and I think you'll see a lot of people on the internet trying to defend Yodscast, and I mean, in some ways, rightfully so. I mean, they're good people. They've tried, their best to build what they have and whatnot, and it has almost sort of like sprung overnight their popularity, into what it is, and for such a small team trying to uh, cope with that and deal with that, there's going to be some growing pains, and this is probably one of the uh, biggest growing pain of all is attaching your name to something that fails miserably and it can almost damage the brand, and probably in some people's minds, has damaged the brand. I think at the end of the day, the biggest reason why this caught my eye so much was you see this a lot where two companies or we'll get into an argument about who did what, and it's kind of always pass the blame. Well, they fucked up. No, they fucked up. They never gave us the thing that we needed and everything like that. And I was just reading it, and it was so weird to watch one person kind of admit their faults and what they had done wrong, and the other side of the party was just kind of like, we don't have any reason to get into detail about this. It's not really even worth it. Specifically, there's $100,000 in all of this that is still kind of up in the air. That's $100,000 that they were supposed to use to hire the lead programmer. That then they never did. The only statement that they've released on that is any monies the Yodscast have received in connection with this project has been spent on this project. So, the other question there is, where did this $100,000 go? And once again, I mean, they're not under any obligation to say anything, but I would say in a situation like this, it might be a good idea to kind of open up about it, and try to figure out exactly what's, you know, try to save face, really, I guess. So, I don't know, that
well,
was kind of my.
they've got like a budget here.
Hmm.
This was the budgetary breakdown Vale offered in the farewell post on Yogsventure's Kickstarter page.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's got 35 grand concept art, 35 grand concept art, 35 grand modeling, 35 grand textures, 35 grand animation, 35 grand program. That's $210,000 right there.
Yeah.
You know, all this other shit. Here's one for $100,000 just by quick math. We're already up to
Yeah.
$335,000.
If you do the math though, and I did this earlier, that only comes out to be 450,000.
Does it? Okay.
Yes.
Um,
So there
I
still is.
mean, that's not my point.
Hmm.
But my point is I mean, they had the majority of the money budgeted out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it stands to reason that they budgeted out this money before the Kickstarter was done.
Hmm.
So I mean, maybe they budgeted out this money and then they ended up with a little extra money. Where that money went is, again, of no concern to anyone because you don't have the promise of goods or services.
Hmm.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes total sense.
Okay.
Um,
So, I mean, I guess what I'm kind of getting at is I don't really see the problem here. With as much money as they make, and the thing is, I've been watching the Yogscast for over 4 years now.
mhm,
Okay, I've been following them pretty good. You can see the difference in quality, uh, the of just the quality of the video, the quality of they you could tell how they were a little rushed. They used to come out with stuff like once a week,
mhm,
and you can tell that they were making more money because the quality got better
mhm,
in their content, and they just got better at it. Plus, the amount of people that they added is so quickly too. They just stacked on people. Um, so like they were able to pay them because they had made so much money. Just these two guys right off the start.
mhm,
Keep in mind this started with two people, um, and now they employ like over 30 people. So dude, I refuse to believe that this was just a ploy to get money out of people through Kickstarter. And a lot of people, like I'm looking at the thing on Reddit here about how they failed or
mhm.
whatever, and people are like, oh, it's a Kickstarter scam, it's a Kickstarter scam. Just
I wouldn't
the word
personally.
the word scam appears on this page like 30 times.
Yeah,
You
no,
know, I refuse to believe that it's a Kickstarter scam. They have enough money.
yeah, no, I don't
I
in any way believe that it's a scam. By any stretch of the imagination. And you're right, they do have more than enough money to do this. At the same time, the point that I'm trying to get to is when you have a large company like this, or the things that you say and the things that you do reach a lot of people and set a lot of examples. Um, even though you have no obligation, I think it might be a good idea to at least save face. Make have what sort am I trying to say? They're coming off as really bad right now, and that can really damage their brand. And this could really turn off a lot of people, as you can very well see. You're reading on there a lot, and everyone's, oh, this is a scam, oh, this is a scam, this is a scam. These are people who could very well, want to see, want to actually watch, their content. But now the name Yodscast is tainted. Like if they see anything on YouTube about that, they'll be like, "Oh, those people just want my money. I don't want to watch that stuff." And I have no doubt in my mind that these are probably really great-hearted people, um, but they should have done a better job um, choosing the developer that they were going to use to make the game that their name is going to be attached to, and they should have done a better job of being more transparent to their Kickstarter backers. And I know, like you've said before, like that's not necessarily an obligation, but I can tell you right now that that can definitely give you some extra brownie points and just make you look like an all around. I shouldn't say it like that because now it just sounds like oh, you got to look good. It's when
Well,
you
I mean, you kind of do. I mean,
yeah.
you have a very valid point, my
Hmm.
friend. Um, at the same time, though, like, okay, you said that there was like $100,000 in the interim.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
just
it's
kind of up in
it's
the air.
yeah.
Nobody knows what happened to it.
Hmm.
Suppose they wanted to take that $100,000 and do something for the community. Now, what would um, for the people that backed him on Kickstarter? Now, let's
Hmm.
get some some numbers here real quick. Um, Yogsventures. Okay, so does it say on here how many? how many total backers that they had?
I don't know personally. I think it was like 13,000 or something like that.
Okay, you will just go with that because I could see the pledge $15 or more that it had 7,000 backers, and the 25,000 or $25 or more had 3,000 backers. So
Hmm.
that's like 10,000 backers right there. So yeah, we'll
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and just go with that. Like they had 13,000 backers. Oh
Hmm.
no, it says at the top 13,647 backers.
Okay.
Now they have 100 grand. That wasn't doled out to other people and given to other people. And in my opinion, if it was Wintercool that came up with the budget and they handed over the money in order to do it, then Wintercool stole it from them, dude.
Hmm.
I mean, think of it like that,
Well,
you
but
know.
that's the thing. Wintercool's the only, or well, Chris Vale, who I guess is really the only thing that's left of Wintercool, has come out and said where the money went. Whereas
But
Yodcast has said, those details aren't important. And like I said, if they did take that money and use it towards the community or anything like that, like that's, I mean, in a roundabout sense, that's almost like profit. If they only need 450,000 to get everything done that they needed done, and they had an extra 100,000, you're right. There's no obligation for them to put that towards the game. That would be the most ideal place to put that. And I'm not saying that Yodscast like up and just grabbed the 100,000 and fucking took off and went to the bank and swam in it Scrooge McDuck style, but the fact that Chris Vale is coming out and like giving a detailed breakdown on the Kickstarter page of where the money went, and it has effectively just has said, hey, I gave them 150,000. 50,000 of that was for them to send off the physical rewards to the backers who would receive those rewards, and 100,000 was sent for them to hire a lead programmer. That lead programmer was never hired. And he, I mean, that's the other beauty of his, I guess you quote unquote confession on the whole deal, is he is in no way, suggesting that the Oddscast ran off with the money or anything of that sort. It's put forward very matter of fact. It's like, this is where the money, this is, of the budget that I was given, this is where the money went. I made a mistake and I hired an artist who was able to leave in 2 weeks, and I didn't write in the contract that I needed that money back if he didn't give me any work, and everything of that sort. Like, in no way is it trying to paint Yodscast in a bad light, I feel. The only time that it's painted them in a bad cast, or cast them in a bad light, is when he says, I gave them that 100,000 and I never got a lead programmer. That's the only negative thing that's really ever said. And to wrap back around, they don't have any obligation to use that 100,000 on the game. That's what they should do. That's morally the most ethical thing to do. That money was given to you to make this game. You might as well put that in the game. And I don't. I'm kind of lost at where I'm going here. I feel like I'm just like retracing my, or retracing my steps.
Well, right, but it seems like your chief complaint is that he said that he wasn't like that he wasn't going to go into details.
Hmm.
Well, he's like, dude, I'm pretty sure it was this shit was just just worded very badly.
Yeah.
And but I mean, at the same time, he also says that um is like given early access keys to this game called Tug,
Hmm.
which is up on Steam right now. Now I looked it up. Tug is $10.
Hmm.
It's not no longer early access. It's not released. I don't know how much it would cost them, but that's all the numbers I have is this. $10 and $100,000, they would be only able to buy 10,000 copies of that. So they wouldn't be able to buy enough copies of that for their for all of their backers.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So like, where's the line in the sand? Do they go ahead and just spend, because it's $10 for another and another 3 grand people. Do they just go ahead and just lose out on like 30 grand there?
I would say if you want to protect your brand, what's 30 grand gonna hurt? Um, you know, if I have a corporation that's making a lot of money, and I have something like this that could potentially damage it, for making all of that money, it's 30 grand.
Okay.
I mean, can you at least
Well, I mean, yeah, I get it. Okay, yeah, this unfortunate thing happened. It's going to cost you $30,000, but you get to keep producing.
hmm
You'll eventually make that money back.
hmm
Um, but I just don't. I mean, I just don't see it. And again, maybe it's because I'm biased, and maybe that's wrong. Um, but I just don't see where and not from you, where like the negativity from people online is coming from.
Yeah.
Like they made good.
Let me rephrase it. All right, I'm not in no way am I trying to say that you know they're being disingenuous or insidious about what they're doing with the money and everything like that. In a roundabout way, what I'm really asking, I guess, is could this have been handled better? And because of the way that it's handled, do you think it could damage their brand?
Yeah, and I think it has to a degree, but I mean they have. I don't think it damaged their. I don't think it damaged their brand $30,000 bad. Let me put it to you that way.
hmm
I don't think they should have. I don't think that they should have to do any more than they've done.
I mean, wouldn't you be a little upset if you had paid, let's say, you paid $15, because I'm assuming that's probably what you had to pay to get the game, in the backer tier. Let's say you had paid that, and 2 years after the fact, you get no game. All right, like, wouldn't you be a little upset? I mean, just even a little bit. And I'm not saying that you got to go and you got to call for refunds or anything like that. Like, you can understand where people might be a little upset, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And even though, yes, the Oddscast is giving them, a download or a Steam key for another early access game and everything like that, would that be enough to like hold you over personally?
That's a loaded question, kind of, because I mean I've never really been in this situation.
hmm
Um, I don't think the game that I received would be the thing to sate me. The
hmm
fact that they did something would, though.
hmm
Yes, it really would. I'd be fine.
Okay,
You know.
that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, wait, are you trying to say that like I pledged more money but then got a game that was cheaper
Um,
than the money I pledged?
I no, that's not the point I was
That's not the
making.
point. Okay.
Because I forgot that you said that game was like $10. Let's say $10
Well,
got
it's
you the
$10
game.
now. I don't know what early access is typically cheaper.
hmm
So who knows what it was for an early access game? I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Um, in no way was I talking about like the price of the game or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Just specifically, I bought into this Kickstarter because I wanted to play a game that had the Yogscast in it and was, built around that theme and their humor and everything. And instead, the whole thing went to shit, and now I get this, what was it, Tug or something?
Yeah, it was Tug.
Yeah, I get this Tug game that I may or may not even fucking like. Um, you know, and I would agree with you. It's like uh, a smart, I shouldn't say a smart person, but somebody who looks into their purchases, would probably be okay with this, and that you're not always guaranteed a Kickstarter will be successful, and you'll get what you paid for. but at least they made a good faith to give you something. Whether or not you actually like that product, kind of is a little irrelevant. You got something to show from your pledge of so much money and everything like that. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that this whole debacle happened, because we need more stories about the dangers of Kickstarter, and we need more stories about how Kickstarters, fails. That way, more people know, that hey, if I buy something on Kickstarter, it doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to get it. I do think it's a little unfortunate that it was the Oddscast that kind of got pulled into this one.
Although at the same time, though, think about it like this, though. They're big enough, this is not going to affect them. I mean,
In the grand scheme of things, it probably won't.
it's going to be a blow to their brand, a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
dude, they've suffered worse. So I mean, dude, there was a thing where Lou, and again, it was Lewis, and he's got he's he's got a way of talking that people don't respond to very well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, it's tragic, and he shouldn't be the one spouting this stuff off, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there was another thing a few years ago that Lewis was involved in, some kind of scam. Or something. I'd have to look it up and get back to you on that one. Probably put that in the show notes for next week for me to look that up.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a thing, and it didn't do shit. I mean, he disappeared. He didn't for a little while. He didn't make videos for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
But then the second he came back, dude, his videos had like hundreds of thousands of views within a day. So I mean, it didn't do shit. It'll blow over, dude. By next week, dude, nobody will even know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I mean,
So
that's kind
at least it
of.
didn't take somebody out, though. Like a lesser, uh, like say if it was you and I doing
Mm-hmm.
this, and we were really ambitious, and we were able to get all this money and stuff, and then, and we're just getting going here, and I mean, this would destroy anything that
Mm-hmm.
we'd have, even in a year.
Mm-hmm.
Something like this, we would never be heard of again on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Think about it this way, though. It pretty much destroyed Chris Vale and Winter Cool Games.
yeah, which actually I'm reading here that since now they're gone,
Mm-hmm.
the Yogscast own the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like they own the name for the game and everything. Like, so if they wanted to, um they could make the game eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And if they did, since they would own the game, think about it like this: give it a little more time, maybe they will make the game, and
Mm-hmm.
then hand out copies, hand out 13,000 copies.
Mm-hmm.
Would that make everybody okay? you know,
Probably.
yeah, you didn't get it in the timely fashion that you thought, but I mean, it's already been 2 years. If it takes another 2 years for them to develop the game, and then all their backers, all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
get the game for free along with the tug game that they got.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Come on now, that you can't get more stand up than that. I realize this is conjecture though, and I'm trying to foresee the future, but time will tell. But I don't really see that there's a real problem here. I think people are just knee jerk reaction. Oh, Kickstarter fail, and oh, look what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, actually, I kind of real quick, dude, we're running long as shit tonight.
Yeah. No kidding.
But at any rate, there's two stories that I know of. I got them sitting up here. Now, I haven't read through the potato salad one a whole lot just yet.
God,
I just found that.
don't even. It's not worth it. It's so dumb.
Uh, because it cost him money?
No, I don't even know what the whole fucking I don't even know the whole fucking story. I just know somebody was making potato salad on Kickstarter and got like an enormous amount of money for it.
70 grand.
Yeah, don't.
Um,
It's oh my god.
Okay, so anyway, it's not because of the Kickstarter, but anyway, this
Mm-hmm.
is old. Okay, this is like June of 2013. A
Mm-hmm.
guy named Ed Carter, he had a $21,000 goal to make a board game.
Yeah.
He got like $73,000 because there's a lot of people that like board games, you
Yeah.
know. And one of several board games made by his company, Cambridge Games Factory. Um, and let's see, there was something in here. This guy ended up losing his house. He lost
Oh
everything
yeah. Yeah, I remember. I
on this
remember.
board game. At
Yep.
the end of 20,
Because he ended up trying to make good and refunding everybody or something like that. Was that what it was?
I'm refreshing here real quick. Uh, yep, yep. He had him produced. Yeah, let's see. Made the language Chinese speaking. Yeah, he made him. He went directly to a Chinese producer, and then that fell apart, and then he wasn't able to produce the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so he tried, he tried to make the game with people here in the States. Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Took plowed through his savings and everything, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think don't I don't know if the game. Yeah, this is really fun to watch, isn't it? Me reading a webpage. I'm sorry. Um, I don't think this story that I've got here has kind of got it in a real nutshell, but I don't think the game ever actually got made. It says a year after the campaign closed that still nobody's gotten their games. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'm not uh, actually 100% certain as to what happened, all that actually happened to that guy. There's a
Yeah.
lot more information now than there was when I first read the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to reread that one for shits and grins. But at any rate, that guy lost everything because of because of Kickstarter,
Yeah.
or not really because of Kickstarter. I guess maybe he made some poor decisions with the money,
Mm-hmm.
but um, and the potato salad guy has lost like 30 grand. Um,
Really?
yeah. Oh, okay. Apparently, there's a way that you can take pledges back, and
Mm-hmm.
apparently that's what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, whatever. That's not that cool. But yeah, I feel for the guy
Yeah,
who
who lost
really got
everything.
fucked, you
Yeah.
know. But the thing, the fucked up thing is, he said he would do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to obviously to make it um, not so fail, but but yeah. So
Well,
anyway,
that's
that turned that kind of turned into a heated thing there.
yeah, a little bit, a
Um,
little bit.
but I mean, I love I know why you picked this because I absolutely love the Yogs cast. I will keep watching them. I don't care. They could shoot a puppy on probably still watch them. No, that's not true. If they shot a puppy on YouTube, dude, I'd done. I would not watch that. I
Oh
would not
man.
watch them ever again.
No, I mean honestly, I picked it because it had been all over the news for the last week, and I finally decided to read into it. And I knew that you watched the August cast, and I wanted to get your opinion on it, and whatnot. So it wasn't so much like I wanted to rally you up or anything. I figured it would be a good conversation. Unfortunately, I saved it for the end of the podcast where we had already talked way too much on the first half of the podcast. So congratulations on like a 2.5 hour podcast. I don't know how the hell we did it, but we did it.
Yeah, man, power right through that shit.
Yep. So with that, we definitely don't have any more news stories. What do you got going for the next week here, Cal?
Um, hoping to finish like Rise of the Triad, and probably see how if I can check out XCOM somehow without paying for it, just to sate you. I don't really have um, I don't really have any other games to play, other than like uh, continue to play Risk of Rain or um, oh, sorry to yawn there. I was picking through my games list here, and I sorted all my games, which
Oh yeah.
like it was pretty painful to do.
Yeah.
Um, but like, dude, I came across Torchlight too, and it's like, what the fuck, dude? I like never even completed that game, you
Yeah, dude,
know?
you were into that game for like a hot minute, and then
Oh
that
yeah,
minute was over.
I know, dude. It was just like my sex life.
Yeah.
Uh, just just in and out. We're done. See ya. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll check that out a bit. What are you thinking? What do you got going on?
Um. So I think I'm gonna beat Doom. Like, finally beat Doom and cross it off my list of games that I need to beat. So we'll see how that goes. Um. I think I'm gonna play some more Risk of Rain. I think we should do a video on that because the game's a very interesting beast. I think it'd be a
Hell
lot of
yeah,
fun to
dude. That
play
game.
and watch.
Seriously
Um,
though, like to anybody listening to this, seriously, Risk of Rain, buy that shit. Don't even wait for a sale. Seriously, it is fun. It is well worth it.
Seriously, guys, seriously.
Seriously.
Um, and I think I'm gonna buy Quake. I think I'm gonna buy Quake.
You gonna buy Quake?
I really want to play Quake. Keep thinking about Quake. I think I'm gonna buy
That have
Quake.
multiplayer?
Well, I know Quake 3 does. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Quake 1 and 2 do. And I'm sure you could probably still get on and play it. I'm sure somebody somewhere is running a fucking Quake server.
It's the best. It's just the best game ever made.
Why would I ever want to play anything else when I have Quake?
Yeah.
So, I think I'm gonna buy Quake.
Okay. Go buy Quake.
Yeah, buy Quake. I probably won't buy Quake. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Who knows? Anything can happen.
I looked
So,
on Good Old Games to see if it was on there, but it's not.
no, it's on Steam though. Obviously, we talked about it earlier. It's been a long fucking night. So, if anyone is still watching, I apologize for going for 2.5 hours, but we had a lot of things we wanted to talk about this week. You know, like we said before, we're still constantly trying to work and improve the show. That's why we're calling the series Episode 0, because we don't feel like it's quite at Episode 1 quality just yet. Would you agree, Kyle?
Oh, 100%. We're like, oh my god, like episode 1 quality and like where we're at now are so far apart. It's unreal.
So, but if you are still watching, I want to say thank you, and I hope you come back and join us next week. And I don't know what else to say. That's why we're still in Episode 0, because I still find myself at a loss of words.
Well, come back next week so we can do all this bullshit all over again. There you go.
Yay!
Yahoo!
So with that, I want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Maybe.
And please subscribe.
Yes, that too.